This is the Manila City Hall, and if you look over to that side, that's an underpass. It's called Lagusnilad. I'm pretty sure you will remember that, Carmen. Anyway, if you head over that direction, there's the Congress building, and all the way to the end is Luneta and Manila Hotel. Now, if you turn over to the left, it goes to Quiapo and Santa Cruz and Binondo. I was able to find another parking right across the post office. Now, I wanted to cross over, but since last year they fenced off. As you can see, there's actually a fence that runs across the island in between this portion and the post office, so you cannot cross this portion anymore. So according to the lady of the store, she said that they built an underpass somewhere here, so I'll check that out later. So this is the Jones Bridge. So when the new mayor was elected a few years ago, or maybe a couple of years ago, this was his biggest project to date, by constructing or reconstructing these two posts and restoring Jones Bridge to Facebook quality. I had to prepare some coins to give to beggars. My son keeps on scolding me for giving to them. But, so anyway, this is a view from Jones Bridge. So that's a new development that they're doing. The present government is doing with China. It's a new bridge connection between that side and this side. So when my son and I came back from Europe, the first thing that I recalled was how Quiapo, or this district, could have looked similar to Venice. So I was very surprised to find that Daniel Burnham, the first urban planner that Taft hired to plan Manila, had Venice and Florence in mind. So that's just a little bit of trivia for history. Fortunately, it never happened. But so as you could see, there's an arch that was built by the Chinese community. So, and it's not just one, there are actually two arches. So you could tell that this community is overwhelmingly or predominantly Chinese. So as you get down to the arch, over to your right side, that's Escolta. So we're going towards Escolta, but we're going to pass under the bridge, under Jones Bridge. This is the tunnel underneath the bridge. So on top of me is Jones Bridge. I think they're having an argument, but anyway, we're now at Escolta. Escolta. Well, Carmen, pretty sure you know that. Our great grandfather built it. Goricho. This is Escolta. And it came from the Spanish word escortar, which means escort. Now, do you remember when we were inside Manila Cathedral, San Agustin Church? and I pointed a name to you, and I told you to memorize that, Burke. Anyway, in a short while, I'll show you something. Now, for Shaney, Skolta used to be a premier shopping district during Carmen's time. All the great shops were here. So this was heavily bombed during the war, but it was restored. And up until 1970s or maybe early 80s, it was still, well, it was on its way to going down, because newer districts in Metro Manila were coming out, especially Ayala in Makati, Cubao in Quezon City. Then you have Green Hills in San Juan. Then you have the well, the Mega Mall area, or the, I'm not sure if it's Ortigas, but that's where Mega Mall is right now, one of the largest malls in the world. So when one sees Escolta now, it's very sympathetic. Even I still saw it during one of its glory days, or glory period, which was still 1960s. There were lots of people here. My auntie used to bring me to one of the restaurants here. Actually, there were several restaurants here, and I'm pretty sure Carmen also knows that they used to eat at a restaurant here, which was called here, let me check, let's show you, Toho restaurant. Looks like this building, but I'll check out later. There's another one which looks similar. But most of the buildings have now been made into concrete. During our time, a lot of these buildings were still semi-lumber. So there was a nostalgic feel to it. There are some groups who wants to restore this, and they're trying to convince local government to safeguard or protect this place, because most of the heritage buildings of our generation had already been destroyed. Carmen, you remember Burke? There you go. Yep, he is, if I'm not mistaken, our uncle. Sorry, not my uncle, your uncle. William Burke. So this street is named after him. So my dad met him right after the war, and they had a chat, but of course it wasn't such a big deal.
For everyone,
This is another place that they're trying to restore.
Basic Hop, we will have you know what's welcome there.
I'm not sure if this is where the Crystal Arcade was before. Over to my right side, it's Regina building. I had to double check the name. Now we're at the Santa Cruz Church. I'm now going to the front portion of the Santa Cruz Church. And right across Santa Cruz Church is Ong Pin Street. Thank you. The guy is inviting me to ride his calesa, or horse carriage. I'm chewing a candy right now. Anyway, that is going to Dasmariñas Village, Dasmariñas Road, Binondo. A lot of hardware stores there. I'm now at the front of Santa Cruz Church. Now, don't mistake this for the fountain that's near Malacanang Palace. That's not the same fountain. The fountain near the Legarda Street, that's now in another place or location in Metro Manila. So over behind me, that's now on Pin Street. And let's see, I'm not gonna enter on Pin anymore. Maybe I'll check that out later. I'll buy some fried shortcut. A long queue of people on my left side. I think they need to enter this arcade, which specializes in jewelry. See how big this place is? I'm pretty sure that Carmen has a lot of fun memories of this place. And Shani could ask her about those things. It's still as bustling and busy as it was during your time, I'm pretty sure, Carmen. But you also have to remember that Manila of your generation probably only had about 20 to 30 million people. And now we have over 100 million people. And around 10 million of that is in Metro Manila. 15 actually. 10 to 15 million people are in Metro Manila. That's a lot of people. All of those people produces this. Dynamic. This is Avenida, which is now called Rizal Avenue. Oh my, did I just forget? Oh no. I thought I forgot the record button. Anyway, might as well go over to Capo Church because I'm here, I think. Let's check it out. This place is just amazing, full of activity. I could hardly recall this place without any activity. It's just busy all the time. This place now specializes in a lot of electronic stuff and some sporting goods. See? You need anything electronics, you come to this place. There are different sections here in Manila, all sort of specializing in their field. So this place specializes in electronics. There's a place that specializes in statues for the church. A place where you can buy all sorts of clothes. A place where you can buy all sorts of accessories for the church. Not just statues, like bells. The problem with Manila is that they keep on changing the name, so it's very hard to recall or even probably remind Carmen about a lot of these places, since a lot of these names have had to change over the years. Oh, okay. This place specializes in eyeglasses. How tight it can be. And if you look at the sidewalk, it's barely half a meter wide. Oh, okay. And another place that just specializes in camera equipment. And there are flowers too. This area is fenced off. I'm not sure why. Yesterday was the fiesta of the Black Nazarene. That's why you can see. That's why you can see a lot of accessories related to the Black Nazarene being sold today. Still. Normally they take out the black Nazarene and they tour it around the whole Quiapo district, but because of the COVID-19 situation, then we weren't able to do it. Don't know what they did yesterday, but that's how it was. Anyway, I'm now at Quiapo Church. You always think that they're selling. They also sell amulets, talismans, herbal medicine. Show you something. I'm not supposed to enter that place. So, I don't know why. Not allowed to. Anyway, Shani, I'll see if I could find somebody selling herbal medicine. Oh, here's one. That's not complete, but it's interesting. Here's champorado. Take a look at this. A feeding program. That's free. See if I could pass through this alley. I don't know why they cannot let me through very much. Go to Hidalgo Street. That's where the camera actually comes up. Anyway, I got no... Everybody making fun. Alright, so I still cannot go through Carriedo. Also, for Shani, here's some school stuff. So, for people to believe, you buy one of those candles, light it up, and pray for a wish or pray for a deceased relative. And okay, this is my last attempt to get to Carriedo Street. I hope we can reach that street and they will allow us to get through it. So the reason why they're not allowing those people to pass through is because this is still connected to the festivity that they had yesterday, which was the procession of the Black Nazarene. There you go. Anyway, behind me that's Quiapo Church. I'm now heading back toward Avenida. If you turn left over to that way, that goes to Quinta Market. You can check out the security. Those guys wearing fatigues, they're police. The reason why they wear fatigue is because of the COVID situation. If there were no COVID, they'll just be wearing the usual police uniform. This is how Avenida looks now. It's almost 12 o'clock and I'll probably go to Ongpin and buy my lunch. Dim sum will do. Normally when I'm in Manila, I have my favorite dim sum. It's fried profile. And for my drink, I usually have sugar cane juice. And you can have all of those for less than 100. So $2. And I'm satisfied with that. Behind me, that's Emporium. Yep, Good Earth Emporium. You could hardly tell that there was COVID right now. Although you're supposed to wear a face shield every time you leave the house. I'd say 60% of the people I see are not wearing face shield, but they're wearing a face mask. I'm just cheating with my face mask because it's pretty hard to talk when you're wearing a face mask. Okay, for Shani, some Chinese treats. These are called hopia, and these are called tikoy. I'm gonna show you. See that? Those are unripe mangoes. Filipino women love them a lot, and they usually eat it with bagoong or anchovies. If they don't have bagoong, normally they'll just dip it in salt. I've tried it once. It's not to my liking. Maybe it's a girl thing. I'm not sure. I'm now at Ongpin Street. They say that this Chinatown is the oldest Chinatown in the world. If anybody disagrees, they could always dispute that. But nobody's ever disputed it, so probably it is. So this is the oldest Chinatown in the world. One of the most popular items besides food that you can buy here are jewelry. So it is alleged that most of the gold that are mined in the Philippines usually comes to this place. But these are just allegations. Just ordered my... Oh my, it's not really that hot anymore. Mukhang wala, di na ganun kainit, ano? So, fried siopaw. And my ice cold sugarcane juice. The most problem part whenever you're vlogging is battery life. Anyway, over behind me, you keep on walking up to the end of that road. You'll reach Binondo Church. Just had my lunch. I bought 2 siopaws, but I only had one. So I'm heading back towards Santa Cruz Church. And then back to my bike. And then I'll go to San Sebastian Church. I'm trying to vlog with an external power source. Although it's a bit uncomfortable. But I'm holding the extra battery and with a wire and everything, and then vlogging at the same time. Anyway, seems to be working. The siopaw that they sold was a bit cold, so maybe they prepared it early this morning. But during a normal day, they'll be selling those things a lot. So they'll be cooking a lot. They'll be served fresh siopaw all the time. So instead of passing through going back to Intermuro, I'll be passing through Marina Road. In the 1960s, this was almost as popular as Volta. So for hardware, come to this place. So before this was ever called Binondo, they used to call this Parian district. So this is where the Spaniards sort of located the Chinese community. So there was a sort of love and hate relationship between the Spaniards and the Chinese during those days. But one cannot be without the other. And obviously caught between that conflict are the natives. So you have to recall that Intramuros, like a garrison, the first Spanish fortress in Manila, if you ever, and along the perimeters of Intramuros are the walls that protects the city inside, or the residents inside. And top of those walls are cannons, and you'll be surprised, those cannons are usually faced towards this district. It's just so funny. Some of the Chinese who lived in during those days, usually they have a one-syllable surname, but what they do is combine those syllables and create a compound surname that might sound like Spanish. So they always wanted to be recognized as Spanish. So you have surnames as Uiteng, Coanco, Tihan, and a lot of others. There are a lot of there's a lot of good Chinese restaurants here. If you wanted to eat something authentic to Manila standards, just come to this place. So if you look over to the left portion of the screen, there's an old building. That's the Shanghai Bank building, which is now converted into a cafe. So I'm now heading back towards Jones Bridge. I'm supposed to be on that side. I am doing something stupid, but I prefer to cross this way rather than underneath the tunnel again. I'm just showing you the savory restaurant on the opposite side. So that's a short tour of this side of Chinatown. We'll be heading over to the opposite side before we head home. So let's see if we could juggle some memories for Carmen. So I just wanted to show you this. Now obviously during the Spanish days this was made of metal, right? But nowadays it's just made of plastic. Just wanted to show you the post office over at the other side. I don't think I'll cross that portion anymore. Just like the woman I gave some money to a while ago, still here. I wonder if she still remembers me. If she doesn't ask money from me again. This is Hospicio de San Jose, and I'm along Ayala Bridge right now. I'm on my way to San Sebastian Church, and then go towards, I'll walk to San Beda College, and then I'll show you the area.